Coming to you live on a Thursday afternoon. Where are all the wide awake conscious beings at in the world who are seeing through the illusion? Let me move this over a little bit. Seeing through the energy harvesting and the illusion of the things happening in the world. And here's a reminder, tomorrow night, by the way, the moon meets Pleiades. Y'all see I wear this star seed shirt. The star people, they say one of the constellations we originate from is the Seven Sisters. I don't know if you've ever seen that. If you know the car, the Subaru, that's the Pleiades symbol. It only has 6 stars, but it's the actual Pleiades symbol. Anyways, that's just a random thing I wanted to throw out there and just check in with everybody and see how you're doing. Are you seeing through the programming? This game of life can make you very, very numb to things that we used to react to. Understanding the system and the program of the world is, there's something called Loosh energy. I know you know what Loosh energy is. I talk about it a lot, but when people want you to be angry or negative or sad, they feed off that energy. This whole thing runs off of energy. So in knowing that, whatever the Matrix wants me to do, I always do the opposite. It's the hardest thing to do is love. The hardest thing to do is to forgive. The hardest thing to do is tune things out. It's understanding that. So when I see things happening and I see people react and I see people wanting to be divisive, it's a shit show. Let's be honest, man. The internet is a dumpster fire. You see a lot of people that, a lot of people just say things. It's like an engagement tool. People just want to engage. People in general want to feel sad. And I understand, like, I'm not in any way trying to not be compassionate about the situation. Rest in peace. But I also have reached a level of consciousness where I understand when things and people are being used as props and tools. And I know that they want me to be used as a prop and a tool. Picket the streets. You see the girl getting killed on the train. You see all these things happening where it's the same old tired playbook of let's take a tragedy, force feed it down people's throats, make them think that we're going to go to war. It's the lowest vibration and lowest timeline ever, especially racism, right? I mean, there's a reason I grew up as a biracial kid born in Galveston, Texas. I could see both sides of a low vibration of these people are bullying me for not being black enough or not being white enough. I could see through all of the programming. So again, I don't want to downplay the things happening out there. Y'all know I just came from Washington, D.C. I've been on this high vibration, this high timeline. And most of that, by the way, is when you don't plug into the internet. The internet, that's why I say, and particularly X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, is a negative cesspool meant to drain your energy. It's not the real world. The only thing that exists in your reality is what you can see. You understand that? You are Truman in the Truman Show, and when you step out of your door, that's the reality you created. Everything else is when we play with kids from the other side of the street, and we're shown things that you don't even know what's real or what's not anymore. Let's be honest. You don't know what's real or what's not anymore. You're sitting there going through and you're saying, man, some things feel... I'm in D.C. I go to Washington, D.C. because I'm like, let's do something on the 999 portal day. People say, oh, Washington, D.C. is it's dangerous and it's the most protected city in the world. They have more cops and guards. Do you understand that everything where you're made to fear is usually, there's probably something hidden there, like a hidden timeline or a hidden message or a hidden meaning. And Washington, D.C. sits on top of the head of a major vortex of energy. You know how many slaves were killed and they built on top of those lands? There is an energy harvest that goes on there. Not to sound negative, I'm just telling you that I go into places that most people try to avoid. I went to Israel, Palestine last year. Again, Jerusalem, Tel Aviv, the West Bank, Bethlehem. They're all protected. You're protected. I think you know that. But Go to Washington, D.C. I just made a goofy video. I talked about this before. I made a goofy video about Donald Trump saying we want our money. You could look at the straw man report that we're traded like stocks or cattle since the time we were born. When your birth certificate is signed, we are wealthy, my guys. We're not, I know that spirituality doesn't teach. It's not about money. It's really not, but we need enough people to wake up and understand that we created this reality, that everything we created, this was our creation. These famous people or rich people are just characters on our movie set. And it's not, I'm not trying to even downplay them or down talk them. I'm just making the statement that I made a goofy video where I went to Philadelphia, I went to Baltimore, Delaware, and then DC. I went to 4 places the same day. I made a loop-de-loop and I made a goofy video saying, Donald Trump, we want our money, Trump. And kind of a joking thing, but I called them out. And then the very next day, I'm walking down the street. They rerouted me 3 times, walking through DC, and he passes by in a limo on a Monday morning at 10:01 a.m. I'm like, okay, he don't even live there. So, okay, that's interesting. Facing me within 30 feet on the exact street. So then we do the meetup and the meditation the next day on the 999 portal. We set intentions. I said, guys, do y'all want to go meditate? Do you want to meditate here first or go to the White House first? They said, let's meditate. So we did a beautiful meditation in front of Washington Monument. Shout out to the people who came, if you happen to see this. Lachelle. But we did a beautiful meditation and said, okay, I want to go make a video in front of the White House. You know, tag the White House. I don't give a shit. I ain't scared of nothing, no one. Do you understand? Most of us have already died multiple times in this incarnation. I have never signed a contract. That's the only way I won't get sidetracked. Anyways, moving forward. And then we passed by, and at the exact same time, not the exact same time, I'm sorry, 7 p.m. that night. He's never gone to dinner in D.C. They blocked off the entire street, and here he comes. As soon as we're on the, right about to make the video, here he comes passing by in the limo with the window down. He goes to eat at a restaurant called Joe's. You see that butterfly? He goes to eat at a restaurant called Joe's, and again, within 30 feet of Donald Trump. It's not about, I'm not a Trumper or a MAGA guy or a Democrat. I will never be a label as long as I live the rest of this incarnation. I am God in human form, just like you if you're seeing this. But all these signs are leading us to a destination because it's about to get bumpy. And I know I'm not telling you anything you don't know. They've already been trying to throw every timeline at us they can. Can we agree on that? All of these things they're putting in the news, they hold things back like they found life on Mars. They announced that yesterday. But they're washing one headline after another, just putting things out there. They're numbing you to things and just trying to get you to believe in anything. Please believe our story. Please believe our story. Please buy this story. Please, we need you to. Also, we're going to keep you in fear, because as long as you're in fear, we can control you. Raise your hand if you're past the fear timeline. I'm done with it. When you're younger and you're little, you have this fear of death until you peace and love to everybody. I see y'all on here saying what's up everybody. I'm not trying to get super serious on y'all today. I'm just telling you, I know whatever the Matrix wants me to do, I'm here to do the opposite. You have to really tap back into self right now. That's being disciplined with the foods, the water you put in your body, semen retention. I told y'all I'm on day 22 of semen retention. You have to really come back and tap back in, because if you really understand on the highest timeline how, I was never an astrology guy, but I understand that they understand that there's certain dates of the year that are powerful vortexes of energy. There's certain places that vibrate because the earth is ascending into fifth dimension consciousness with us. So knowing that is knowing that when they throw these events, these are times you can tap in even more. It's kind of like a reverse, it's like a reverse thing that you have to tap more into self because we are becoming desensitized to things. It doesn't move my energy anymore. It makes me feel, it used to make me feel terrible that I'm not empathetic, but I understand that life is a game. It's been said to us many, many times. These artists, these singers, they've been trying, you can go back to Earth, Wind, and Fire. People have been trying to wake us up forever. But I'm awake to it now. You're not going to move my energy. You're not going to get me acting out of character. You're not going to get me. How many of y'all didn't react to any of the news that happened in the last week online? How many of y'all didn't react to any of the news where, hey man, that's a tragedy? But you see so many people get super invested in this game, in this system. I will never say that I'm for anything negative. We're just characters in God's dream. You can call it that. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. This is a dream. It's about your experience. It's how do you want, if you're the main character and the star and the director of your movie, how do you want your movie to play out? How do you want your movie to be perceived by others? How can you enhance your experience? How can you enhance other people's experience? Yeshua, Buddha, all these characters and figures that existed here were like the goats of the Matrix. They saw through. Imagine being awake 5,000 years ago, and you're around nothing but programmed people, and you're just like, dog. After it would probably be maddening, but that's when you reach the God frequency. Whatever you believe about these people that existed in the past, they laid down the foundation and the groundwork to teaching you how to escape this reality. You will get stuck in a karmic loop if you get over-invested in anything or anyone. Raise your hand if you have no more attachments, that you love everybody. You love your Aunt Sally. You love your cousin Betty. You love your dog Spot. But why do they tell us no attachments? You are a computer. You are a supercomputer. You are a hard drive with information stored. Unclog your computer, unclog your system, ascend to your highest timeline. That's really what's going on. Over the last 2 weeks, I've been across 12 states, and I have connected. This is another way to tune out those timelines, is to connect with tribe. We're not all maybe at the same level of consciousness, but we all understand each other. We speak in frequency. We all speak in frequency. We don't speak in the things we say. I'm not telling you guys anything you don't know or anything new. But what I am doing is sharing frequency. Just me talking on here is sharing a frequency and a vibration with you that hopefully you can understand that my higher self is communicating with you right now. Do you understand that? Just like your higher self is communicating with me. It might be one word, one memory, or just one piece of information that's going to trigger something inside of you that remembers, this is who we are. This is who we are. I remember. You're here to remember. Do you remember? Do you know that you're not from here? Do you know that you're just a soul and an avatar existing in all timelines and all dimensions? Do you know in one of your lifetimes you were a billionaire? It might have been in the future. So if you know that, you can tap into that life too. Do you understand that everything is existing at the exact same time, past, present, and future? Time travel is real. All of these things are real. So why not tap into a billionaire timeline? Not that we're in here for money. Who cares? It's just a way to ride the rides. But tap into some of your timelines and some of your future lives and pray and meditate and ask your guides and ask your angels. Huh? All you have to do is ask. You don't ask enough. Ask to connect with your tribe in the physical. Ask to connect with the Galactic Federation of Light in the physical. Why? Why not? Why not? But I know one thing. I'm not giving my energy anymore to timelines that don't serve our highest good. There'll be a time to fight. Do you feel like that time is now? Or do you feel like it's time to dig back in deeper to self? Do you feel like it's time to dip deep back in at whatever you're looking at? Religious texts? We're not religious. We are spiritual. But there are codes from the past. You can even look through things like Gematria and these other things. You can tap in. That's how you really draw, and you elevate, and you just evolve, and you evolve. We're here to evolve. So that's really the message today is just always think at a higher level of what they are trying to tell me. It's never what you're given information and bits of information of, okay, this is like calculating some sort of a problem, or like calculus or something like that. You're given a set of algorithms and clues, but it's never what you see on the surface level. How many of y'all think like 12 steps above and seeing what's really going on? Who's really behind things? What are their goals? What are they trying to do? What are they trying to get from me? And then once you get there, there ain't no turning back. This is a big, beautiful world. It is 1:11 p.m. right here in New Jersey. I'll be doing another meetup. I really feel so charged up after meeting with some tribe. We live to die. Is that what you really believe, Jeremy? We live to die. No, I live to live now. I didn't want to be here for a long time. I will never say that I wanted to unalive myself, but if a bus hit me, I wouldn't have been mad about it. I walked around for 3 years like a 1,000-pound gorilla was on my chest. Absolutely miserable. Self-hatred, all of it. And then I had my 5th near-death experience in 2019. And it's a funny thing to say that you don't want to be here anymore. And then when you're faced with not being able to say goodbye to all the people that you got to go through life with and love, it's a crazy thing to say that all you want to do is go say bye to them. And you start to see that Earth isn't that bad and that you actually appreciate it here. You lose the fear of death, but you come back here and you want to enjoy the rides. And that's where I came back to. I didn't want to be here. I was ashamed of the person that I was for a good portion of my life. I never lived up to my potential. I was afraid to be great. And I know I'm resonating with a lot of people on here. I was afraid to be great. I was afraid of the pressure that comes with, well, what if I want to have a glass of wine? What if I want to smoke a joint? What if I want to eat a fat burger from Fat Burgers? Whatever that means. But we didn't come here to be perfect. We came here to evolve. We came here to remember who we are and why we came here. And I love life now. When you get back to this place where you're like, damn, I actually love me. In the beginning of COVID or the pandemic, whatever, man, I was so lonely. I just went through a breakup and I was like, I hate being alone. And I was that flaky person that if you called me with plans, I would be like, I would cancel last minute because it was like draining even thinking about it. And when people would cancel on me, I was like, yes, I don't have to go. So to come back to this place of, I love me, I like being alone at times, but I really and truly love people. I love seeing our big, beautiful world that we created. That really is what is it gives you more purpose in a place that you call home. You know? Home is not maybe a physical destination on the earth. It is a feeling that you feel. It is a feeling that you feel when you are with people that you can be yourself with. You can be your authentic self. You don't have to bite your tongue. You can explore levels of consciousness. You're not talking about the weather and things like that or sports that we used to. You can be your genuine, authentic self. And man, that's the vibe. You don't get ADHD. You don't get negative emotions because you can listen and you can pay attention and you can concentrate. You can stay present. And that's been hard. Hey man, it's hard. You have to sometimes fight to stay in conversations that don't serve your higher purpose. Or when people just complain and complain and complain and you're like, dude, I was on that timeline 3 years ago. Maybe 4 years ago. Maybe I was the Agent Smith. I'm off that timeline. Anyway, Other than that, you guys got any questions? Huh? The main thing, the main message, if you didn't catch the beginning of this, is when the Matrix wants you to do something, like feed things with negative energy, I find that a lot of people who consider themselves influencers are posting things just for engagement. That's an energy harvest too. Do you understand that this game is played by them wanting you to feed into their system? Good, bad, dark, light. They just need you hooked in here. And I'll tell you, let me tell you something really quick too. And this is something that, you guys know that at times I create a lot of content, at times I create none. It's just whatever comes to me. I took 8 days off of my cell phone recently, like literally turned the phone off for 8 days. When I tell you the first day and a half, it was like a heroin addict. I didn't care about being on my phone, but I had a physical illness where I felt nauseous and I had a migraine headache that was wrapped up like a coil in my head. And I said, it's got to be the phone. They want you hooked, trapped into this matrix to buy into anything, because we're not watching TV anymore. We're definitely not watching movies. We barely listen to the radio. I mean, come on, man. So anyways, I just understand that it's a push and pull, a tug of war. You're in and out, huh? But I'm doing videos. It's the same principle. If I can inject a positive frequency in a place that's typically negative, where people want to debate each other, I'm a Republican, I'm a Democrat, I'm black, I'm white, I'm a starseed, oh, I'm a reptilian. I don't care. Just be a good person. That's it. So I can either use this to pump in some positive frequency and try to give you some tips on how to navigate this thing and how to master this reality, or I can unplug it, not say anything. I've debated, believe me, many times I've considered throwing the phone in the ocean and just live my life. That's it. But it wouldn't have been my mission to just throw a rock and run. We're trying to take down the whole system with love, if that makes sense. That's a hard thing to do. We're trying to take down a whole system, not with guns and violence. We are literally saying to the controllers, hey, dog, stop manipulating us. Stop messing with the air, the water, the food. Stop. Stop it. Stop polluting our environment and putting people in our path that try to lower our vibe. We're done. We're done with it. Can we agree? So anyways, again, I just wanted to share some stuff on here. Love, that's really what it is. That's the only thing that's real in the Matrix. That's the only thing that's real in the simulation is love. Love, 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 love. Everybody type love. Just type it. Huh? Hard to be positive when you're living paycheck to paycheck, trying to skip through life, taking care of a family. Jeremy, I understand. But complaining about it, has that ever got you anywhere? I've been homeless 3 times in life. You don't ever hear me talk about it. I understand. It's everybody has a different purpose and a different mission. Right? People are very, very quick to blame others or circumstances or a system. Hey, dog, not one person who's been on here hasn't been through shit. Period. So I'm not trying to downplay what you're going through. I understand this is the great mystery and puzzle on how do we master this reality. Love. That's it. Love. 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 All you need is love. The hippies had it right. We looked at them like they were crazy, and it's definitely the perception we choose to take. Love, dog. Love. Period with a T. That's it. Love harder. If your neighbor is a troll and is trying to disturb your frequency and energy, you got to open up that heart chakra like a Care Bear and love even harder. And that's a hard thing to do, because understand, when people try to suck your energy, it's because we're typically giving our power away. And we are winning, Denise. We are 1,000% winning. How many of y'all feel like the Matrix or this system is on panic mode? Huh? How many of you feel like that's why they're panicking, because we're not believing anything? We already won. This has already been prophesied. We're just taking the next necessary steps to get us to the destination that we're going. Some of y'all know where that is, some of you don't. What comes out is what's inside of you. That is a very true statement. Money solves problems, does it? How many of y'all think money solves problems? That's a program. Everything's a program. I find more joy these days swimming in a river in the sunshine than I do anything else. Money is just a way to ride the rides in the Matrix. We're just here riding rides, my guy. Anyways, I'm rambling now. We'll talk to y'all soon. I just want to, again, man, they want your emotions. Don't give it to them. When you know that, you've already won the game. When you know you're being tested in a moment, I don't care if it's by your boss, I don't care if it's by your wife or your husband or by your kids. When you know you're being tested in that moment, you just got to tell yourself, I know this is a test. I'm not giving you what you want. I will remain neutral. Okay. So anyways, I want to send again love to everybody. Spread some positivity out there today, and we'll be back soon.